You press the button, it's already lit. Someone pressed it before you. You press it again anyway. You look up at the floor numbers above the doors. They aren't moving. You check your phone, not for anything specific, just to have somewhere to put your eyes. You look up, the numbers still haven't moved. You shift your weight. You glance at the doors. You check your phone again. Maybe 40 seconds have passed. It feels like 4 minutes. And somewhere in the back of your mind, the same quiet verdict forms, the one that always forms in moments like this. You're just impatient. And honestly, why wouldn't you think that? Some people wait easily. They stand still, they don't fidget, they don't check their phone 3 times in 30 seconds. You know you're not one of them. It certainly looks like a character flaw. And honestly, the evidence is right there. You feel it every time. But something doesn't quite fit. The same wait, the exact same 40 seconds, doesn't always feel the same. In a busy lobby, with people moving and sounds arriving and things to look at, it passes differently. In an empty corridor, facing a blank wall, it stretches. The clock doesn't change. Something else does. Your brain has no clock, not a real one, not a mechanism that counts seconds the way a watch does. What it has instead is an inference engine, a system that estimates elapsed time based on how much has happened. New information arrives, a sound, a movement, a face, a word, and the brain logs it. The more inputs it registers, the shorter the interval feels. When nothing arrives, when the environment goes flat and the inputs stop, the brain turns inward, it loops, it notices the waiting itself. And the estimate inflates. William James described this in 1890. He called it the felt sense of time and noted that it bears almost no consistent relationship to the clock. The science has been settled for over a century. The question is what we did with it. In the early 1990s, Houston Airport had a problem. Passengers were furious about baggage wait times. The complaints were relentless, enough that the airport treated it as a genuine crisis. So they did the obvious thing. They hired engineers, optimized the baggage handling system, and cut average delivery time from 8 minutes to under 2. The complaints barely dropped. Someone looked more carefully at the data and noticed something. Passengers were arriving at the carousel in about 2 minutes, then standing, doing nothing for the remaining 6. The idle time was the problem, not the total time. So they tried something different. They rerouted arriving passengers on a longer path to baggage claim, more corridors, more walking, further from the gates. By the time passengers reached the carousel, the bags were already there. Total journey time unchanged. Idle time almost 0. Complaints dropped by nearly 90%. The bags hadn't changed, the clock hadn't moved by a single second, and the experience of waiting had almost disappeared. This is not a story about impatience. This is a story about engineering. Disney discovered the same principle in the 1970s. Guests in straight, open queues consistently overestimated how long they'd been waiting. Disney redesigned their queues to snake through themed corridors, always moving forward with no visible endpoint. They added details to look at, ambient sound, things to notice at each turn. Perceived wait time dropped significantly. They also began posting estimated wait times set 10 minutes above reality, so the actual experience would consistently beat the expectation. The line wasn't shorter, it was managed. Progress bars work the same way. Research on download experiences found something counterintuitive. A progress bar that accelerates toward the end, regardless of the actual download curve, is consistently rated as faster by users. The bar is not reporting the truth, it is managing the estimate. YouTube, Chrome, and most major platforms use nonlinear progress bars for exactly this reason. The animation is doing cognitive work that the actual process cannot. And then there are the three dots. The typing indicator, that small animation showing someone is composing a reply, was designed to convey information. It was introduced because users experienced significantly more anxiety and perceived significantly longer waits when a response simply arrived after silence. The dots give the brain something to count. The wait becomes a watched event rather than a void. The estimate stays controlled. Same silence underneath, completely different experience of it. The brain doesn't measure time. It asks how much happened. When the answer is a great deal, time compresses. When the answer is nothing, the estimate inflates. 40 seconds becomes 4 minutes. 2 minutes at a carousel becomes an outrage. Silence from someone you texted becomes something heavier than it is. And the people who design airports, theme parks, progress bars, and messaging apps have known this for decades. They've been answering the brain's question for you, quietly and without asking permission. You're back in the elevator lobby now. The button is lit, the floor numbers aren't moving, the wall in front of you is blank. You see that blank wall differently now. No mirror, no display, no ambient sound, nothing for the brain to count. And whoever designed this lobby either didn't know that mattered or decided it didn't. Every weight you've ever felt stretch and inflate was happening inside a space someone specified. Sometimes that specification was careful. Sometimes it was careless. And sometimes, occasionally, the weight being uncomfortable was the point. A hard wait can make the arrival feel earned. Designers know that too. Next time you feel the time stretch, look for what isn't there. That absence is always a decision. If that changed how you see something you walk through every day, there's more where it came from. Next up, weekends. Why we have them, where they actually came from, and why a structure invented under very specific historical pressures still feels like the natural order of things. Subscribe if you want to keep noticing what was always there.